Yes, we are definitely being lied to, especially when it comes to the economy. Now, let me first just start off. This is not some sort of political video. I talked about the same exact topic right here, as you can see on the screen, back in September of 2019 when, well, President Trump was a president, a Republican. But yet, here I am going to talk about the same thing once again right now while a Democrat, Biden, is the president. So point here being, I've talked about this during both administrations, so this has no political motives at all. It has economic motives. It has, let's become informed individual thinkers so we can cut as many strings as possible from us, from the institutions of the government. And once again, has nothing to do with Democrat or Republican. They're all doing it. They're all trying to treat us like we're puppets, but we need to be educated people. We need to know how things work so that we can tell when people are just flat out lying to us. So to set all this up, I want to tell you a little small story about two businessmen, all right? You have one over here, and this is Tom. And Tom is saying, you know what? I'm very strong. Business as well. I am just very, very powerful. I'm very strong. And you know what? I attribute a lot of this, the reason why I'm so strong, the reason why business is so good is that my debt. So my cost of debt is very cheap, right? It is cheap. It is low. Whatever terminology you want to use, that is why Tom is very strong. Once again, he's getting lots of profits. He's running, he's making money. So he's making money. His business is very strong. But he says, yeah, because, debt is cheap and it's allowing me to do all sorts of things because debt is cheap. We then have another businessman over here. And this is Tim. And Tim, when it comes to debt, so when it comes to that conversation, you say, okay, Tim, what are your thoughts on debt? And he says, huh? He says, what? He says, IDC, right? I don't care. I don't care about debt. I don't care about the cost of debt. Now, let's think about that. What would make Tim be able to say that he doesn't care about the cost of debt? He doesn't care if debt's expensive or cheap. He literally just doesn't care. Well, there's one of two reasons. Reason number one, he just flat out doesn't have any debt. He has cash in the bank. There's no debt. Part of Tim's business. Or the other potential is Tim is just making so much money. His profit margins are so big that he's just saying, debt can get more expensive. I don't care. I'll still be able to afford the debt because I'm just making so much money. My profit margins are so big that even if debt does get more expensive, I'll just pay for it. So my question becomes, who is actually the strong person in this scenario, right? Who actually has a strong business? Well, of course, it's Tim, right? Because you can very logically argue that, well, yeah, Tom has a strong business, sure, but the only reason why his business, why he's making money is because, well, he has profit margins, sure, but the only reason why those profit margins are profitable is because, well, he has cheap debt, right? He can borrow money very cheaply, but it's all driven by the fact of the debt being cheap. But if that doesn't get cheap, well, he's going to have some problems. So let's go up here now and look at a quote from Jerome Powell. And depending on how he is the president of the Federal Reserve, the institution that controls monetary policy. And this was a quote that I wanted to point out because this is coming from late November. And as of the timing of this video, we're in early March. So this quote was given several months ago because I want to make sure that I'm not putting myself in a situation where I'm kind of talking in generalities and not really giving enough time for anything to happen. No, this has been 4 months ago. And Powell says the economy is very strong. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Yet what has happened over the past 4 months in regards to debt? In other words, making debt more expensive. Has anything happened? The answer would be, well, no, nothing has happened because interest rates have not changed. Now, you would think if somebody is very strong that you should be able to start to raise interest rates like then, Because if something is very strong, then you should have a Tim type situation where the economy would literally say, yeah, very strong, raise the cost of debt. Who cares? Either because in the economy, people within the economy, businesses within the economy don't have debt, or they're just making so many sales. Their profit margins are so big. They're doing so well that they literally say, yeah, my cost of debt might go up, but who cares? I'm still going to be able to pay for that debt. Not a big deal. So, but again, nothing has happened since November. So why is that the case? Well, dare I say the economy's actually not that strong? Dare I say the only reason why the economy is strong is because, well, everybody's just, the cost of debt is so cheap and you have all sorts of money flying around, which has now, reaping the flip side of that, which is now finally starting to cause inflation. So before you go and start to think that the economy is strong, and once again, let me reiterate, and I know this will upset some of you, that includes under Trump. Trump running around saying the economy is so strong, the economy was so strong, while he's making debt cheaper. That's not impressive. What impresses, or what should impress you from an economical standpoint, is where companies don't care that debt is getting more expensive. That's what's impressive. But you making debt more cheap, that's not impressive. That's not a sign that anything is strong. That's actually a sign that something's what? Weak. So just keep that in mind. And once again, to see this quote, it's not like he said it's the economy is struggling. The economy it's doing okay. The economy's hanging in there. The economy's good. Heck, not even the economy is strong. Very strong. The economy is supposedly very strong, yet it's 4 months later and interest rates haven't even gone up. But Clay, they're about to go up. Okay, fine. I mean, it's taken 4 months within what was supposedly a very strong economy, still taking 4 months. And what are they going to be going up? Well, as of now, 0.25%. Really? So a very strong economy, 4 months later, you can only do it at 0.5%. So, do you see how things aren't exact? Something seems off here. And what's off is this. The economy is not that strong. And it wasn't that strong during Trump. Now, before you and before people, Clay, we had the lowest unemployment rate under Trump. Yes. But was that with rising interest rates or lowering interest rates? Lowering. And again, well, yes, it is going to be easier to hire people if your cost of debt is lower. But what's actually impressive, what's actually strong, is when an economy can say, a company can say, yeah, my cost of debt's getting, my cost of debt is getting higher and higher. It's rising, but I'm still hiring people. Wow, you are strong. You're able to hire people while your cost of debt is getting higher and higher. Now that is impressive. That is strong. But if you're only able to hire people because your cost of debt is getting lower and lower, that's not really a good sign. So that's just something the way you have to understand about interest rates. Interest rates have everything to do with the cost of debt. And if you're really caring about a cost of debt, if your business, if your economy is structured around the cost of debt and whether or not debt can get more expensive or less, that's a problem, because somebody that's truly strong is literally going to sit there and say, I don't care. And then the flip side of all this is when interest rates rise, that should make a strong economy more strong, right? It should make people excited. Why? Because a strong economy, people are going to have money sitting in the bank. And they're going to say, wow, all right, great. Instead of losing money by sitting in the bank because I don't get paid anything interest-wise, now my interest is going up. So that's how it all works. And I realize some people are going to disagree. They're going to throw economic theory at me, and that's fine. I mean, we can always agree to disagree, but at just the basic core, if you compare those two people and that was their reasoning, Tim and Tom, I'm going with Tim every single time. Tim is actually the person that's very strong. Tim is actually the person that's running a great business, because the other one is, dare I say, built on a house of cards. And as we're witnessing right now, the house of cards is collapsing. So we'll see if interest rates ever even do get increased. But just understand, all this talk about we're in a great economy, we have a strong economy, or in Paul's words, it's a very strong economy, that is a total lie. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.